Hello all and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ravish and I'm a VP of Product at Cosette. Today's webinar topic is on learning how to organize your sales collateral. So we will be doing a live demonstration of the Cosette platform to actually show you how Cosette can help you in your sales enablement journey. A couple of housekeeping rules. All attendees are in listen-only mode. In case you do have some questions, please do feel free to reach out to me after the webinar, and I'll be more than happy to answer them to you. We will be emailing a recording of this webinar to you all, and so you should be able to take a look at it at your own pace as well. So with that, let's get started. We do have quite a bit to cover in today's webinar. Before we get started, a little bit about Cosette. Cosette is an enablement platform for sales, targeted towards sales organizations, sales functions, as well as technical marketing functions. And the goal of the platform is to really make creation, measurement, and distribution of enablement content really easy. And for the purpose of today's webinar, what we have done is we have set up a demo instance for the webinar, and it's called acme.cosette.io. And to actually just create this demo instance, all I did was actually click on Start Your Free Trial and sign up for a domain and set it up. So I've already done that as a part of the pre-webinar work. So we're going to take it live from here. Before we go a little deeper into the creation aspect itself, let's take a look at what is it that we are creating. Since the topic is around sales collateral, one of the main things about sales collateral is that they exist in monolithic forms within many companies today. They are inside giant PPTs, they're wrapped in multiple documents, but at the end of the day, we want to really break them down into bite-sized sections so that it's easier for salespeople to consume. Based on some of the studies we've done, we've worked with some of our large partners and with clients with whom we have deployed these solutions. We've learned that breaking a sales collateral down into bite-sized content goes a long way in improving engagement and also improving retention of concepts. So at the end of the day, the sales collateral is presentations about the company, about the competition, about the solution features, case studies, demos, pricing sheets, competitive matrices. So all of these are, different parts of the sales collateral and sales enablement ecosystem. So what we are looking at right now is what we call a playbook for your sales teams. And you can see it's broken into 6 key chapters, 6 key blocks, I would say. So this is the content that we will be creating live as a part of this webinar. So without further ado, let's just go into the actual creation process. So as I said, as a part of the webinar pre-work, I have already set up a demo instance. It's called acme.cosette.io. I'm currently looking at the dashboard for the platform. And just to show you, I have already added some values here, given it a name. It's a sales collateral site, uploaded a fictitious logo for the site. It's an Acme company. Already set a color scheme for a primary and secondary, and let's just go and see what the site looks like. But when we start off, we see it's a blank slate. There's nothing here. Let's begin by actually creating our first playbook. Opposite is what you see is what you get kind of a site. So if some of you want to actually visit acme.cosette.io, as I create stuff, you'll actually see some of the content come live. One of the things that is outside the scope of this specific demonstration is the securing of the site. It is very easy to secure your site using single sign-on infrastructure powered by one login or Okta or similar. So let's go ahead and create our first playbook. I will call it a sales playbook. And let's just give it some description. And once we have done that, let's also upload some sort of a icon for the same. Just give me 1 second as we reach. There you go. Let's pick a nice icon for our web, for our folder, and let's just go ahead and get that started. So there you go. So your first section on your sales site, like I said, Cosette is a SaaS platform. It's available online, which means it's always your salespeople always have content accessible on the go. No more PPTs, no more PDFs that are offline, and people struggle to figure out which is the latest version. So now that we created a sales playbook, let's also create another playbook. Let's say we will create something called a partner playbook. Let's give it also a nice description. And also give it a nice logo. It's a partner playbook. Once we have done that, we will see that we already have set up 2 sections. Let's go inside sales playbook, and now we will be actually creating all these sections inside the sales playbook. So let's go ahead, create our first section. It's called a playlist in the Cosette parlance. And the first one, let's say, is an overview. Let's assume that you have just hired a bunch of folks for your company. You want to start giving them a quick overview about the company itself. So on day 1, your reps would want to consume some content under overview. Let's go ahead and add what we think is going to be a good starting point for anybody who's just joined the company. Let's say we will start off with the vision statement from the CEO. It could be CEO, co-founder, CEOs. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it could be anybody who's telling the story about the company. So let's go ahead and also create some fast facts, because they need to know when the company was founded, who's part of the executive team, and other details, or get a quick bio about them, things that may or may not be exactly on the internet, on the web. So you can, let's say, have some of that content be covered here. So the idea about this whole block overview is to help the sales reps just get a quick understanding about the company and understand the genesis of the company, what's the vision of the company, and things like that. We'll add content under each one of these once we have built out the rest of the chapters. As I said, so we are building everything modeled on this. So let's take personas and conversations as the next section that we will build. Personas and conversations are quite key to sales folks, because it really helps sales teams understand more about who the key customers are, who are the buyer personas, how to initiate conversations with them, and things like that. So now that we have this personas and conversations block built out, let's actually add some meaningful chapters under it. So we will go under personas and conversations, and what could be an interesting set of chapters under this. Let's say we will begin by defining the buyer personas, and we will also say how to engage in a meaningful dialogue with these personas. So let's say we will create also a chapter called value prompting conversations. And once we have done that, is there anything else that we can do as a part of this? So let's say we will actually also do help the salespeople understand how to spot opportunities. So each one of these chapters have an objective. Buyer personas, you're telling them the target is a head of a company, the director, the CIO, the CXO. And the value prompting conversations is just really a means of guiding them through the conversations. Whereas the chapter that is here, which is help identifying opportunities, is really helping your salespeople spot trigger words. They might have talked about data loss, they might have talked about security, they might have talked about privacy. Any one of these can be trigger words, and you're really helping your salespeople navigate these conversations, spot opportunities, and make the right pitch. So let's say we built out this block. Continuing on, we will build more of this. So once we have the personas covered, we are actually going to go into a little bit about the solution itself. What is it that the company is selling? What are the features? What are some of the frequently asked questions about the product maybe, and things like that. So let's go ahead and create some of those chapters as well. So under solution, let's say we will begin by creating features. There you go, solution features. Let's say we will also include things around the frequently asked questions. You really want to give your sales teams as much ammunition as possible. And so one of the things I like to call out as we are progressing in this webinar is that you can see that the webinar is already built. It's accessible online on a URL. Once I publish it, a lot of the content will start showing up. So you can see that it's not a PPT, it's not a PDF, although you can export whatever is finally built out into a PDF. But the key point here is that the teams can actually access this over the web, and you can even enable you to access this over mobile if required as well. So let's say we built out these two chapters. Is there anything else that we can add? Maybe something around upsells or integrations, because it's possible that your product makes use of some such features. Now let's go ahead, create the next block. Now that we have got solution out of the way, it's time for validation. And the way to do validation is by actually having a list of top customer success stories. And we've just got a section for customer success stories. How would we break those down? So we will break customer success stories down by, let's say, by verticals. In case you are selling by a specific vertical, you can see the vertical markets here. Let's also go and create some more content. Let's say we have some generic success stories. So we have by vertical markets, we have by success stories. Again, there is a good chance that you will also need an FAQ section under customer success, because people may have specific stories about. Do you have references for anybody that you work for in the government sector, or the pharma vertical, or the healthcare vertical, or things like that? So you can have some of the question and answers listed here. Now that we have customer success, what is the most logical next step? Let's say that there is a scenario where the sales teams need to battle through objections, or your competition shows up at the deal. So competition and objections section is really where you list all your competitors and identify their strengths and weaknesses, and also help your sales teams manage objections. How should they handle the objection flow? What's the key differentiator and things like that. So let's say we will dedicate a whole chapter to competitors, key competitors. Here you go. We have the key competitors. Let's also say that we will dedicate a whole chapter to objection handling. What are the scenarios? They might say, hey, your solution is expensive. Your solution takes too long to implement. There might be many dimensions on which a customer might object. So how do you navigate some of those things? Again, you're helping your sales teams understand different scenarios and walk them through. Again, we're still building the outline of the structure, but you can see in the last 6 minutes or 8 minutes since we started the demonstration, we have already got a good part of the playbook built out. And we're not really focusing on the UI here, but the key is that the platform is allowing you to create content very easily and not really laying any roadblocks in your way. Let's say, what else? We want them to also take a look at all the demonstrations and all the other things that the product marketing, technical marketing team has worked so hard to create, or the sales enablement team has worked so hard to create. So we will dedicate a whole section for enablement resources. And this is where you will find all the demos related to the Acme product, all the videos, all the, let's say, the presentations and things like that. Let's start off the enablement resources by saying that this is where the corporate deck will live. And should we call it the corporate deck? Or let's just call it the corporate presentation. So we have the corporate presentation and the enablement resources. We will also have a, let's just call it a detailed sales presentation. And we will also add some more content there. Let's just say that we have links to some demos and videos right there. So as you can see, we are continuously building out the structure, and we're taking the salesperson down a journey where they can easily find content. And let's say that there is another place where they can look up. This is your intranet. You can just tell them this is your sales asset repository. So there you go. So we have, now that we got enablement resources out of the way, the last piece is around pricing and packaging. So pricing and packaging, what we are really doing here is trying to tell them, you know, what's the MRP, what's the original price, what's okay to discount, what are the different ways in which the customer can get better deals, maybe they can buy a bundle, things like that. Everything around the pricing is again listed right here. So again, you can see that we're going through a logical process. We've established a little bit about the overview of the company. We've said who our product is targeted to, how to guide them through this conversation, what is the solution all about, and let's just say that you know, any other information related to the solution. We have established a section for validation of the product through customer success stories. We've talked about competition and objection, and we've talked about enablement resources, and now last we have come to pricing and packaging. So under pricing and packaging, let's just say we want to, okay, you can just say we can have some pricing information. And the last piece is that we will also have some packages. And this is this is the outline that we've created for our sales collateral. So you can see how we've organized the content. Now let's get into a little bit of how to add content into all of this. So we go into the vision statement, and when you go into the vision statement, the Cosette platform allows you to upload different types of multimedia content. You can upload images, videos, audio, which is like a podcast, rich text content, just upload your PDFs. In case you have physical products, upload 360-degree views of your product. If you want to embed your third-party developed apps, you can do that here as HTML form, or you can just add a plain old link. Let's actually go about by saying that this is a vision statement chapter. Maybe your CEO, co-founder has already got a video message that he's recorded, and let's say it's already on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend this is Salesforce, this is Mark Benioff, and I have a video of Mark Benioff talking at the Salesforce World Tour in München, Germany. And so this is the, let's say, Mark Benioff giving the corporate vision of the company. And we're going to just publish. And you can see that the first chapter, which is vision statement, which has got the CEO speaking about the company, is already live. We will do fastbacks a little differently. We will choose to actually create fastbacks as a rich text content and say, we'll give it a title, we'll say company fastbacks. Let's write something here. Let's say we will add this as an information as a table and say year founded, right? So let's just say what was the year this company was founded in. Let's say, let's also make this a little different. And we'll do alternate rows, make it just look a little different. So year founded, executive team, let's say more information like product, industries, industry focus, things like that. So we can keep adding information like this as a table, keep building this content to whatever length we want. Whenever we're done, we just say save, and we just wait for it to save. There you go. And whenever we're done, we hit publish. Again, you know, the company fastbacks chapter is also live. So we can go on doing this to a certain extent. You know, let's talk about doing value prompting conversations next. Let's do this as a rich text editor. What are these questions really like? Let's get some of this content out of the way. Let's say I want to, what is the right way? Yeah. So let's say that we want to help the sales teams focus on how Acme can help this company or prospect that we're talking about. So let's say we want to list a set of questions. So we can do is I already have a preset set of questions that I prepared. We can just add them here. And so let's say these are the questions that we want to really focus on. And there you go. So you can style them the way you want. Right now I'm not paying much attention to styling this or making this look really good, but you can see that the content is already live. So we can go on building content in this fashion, upload information, upload more aspects to this. Let's go into one more chapter, and let's say we want to do objection handling. Again, we will land up using a table. We'll just say this is the objection, this is the response. Let's just make sure that we got the alignment right. And we will do center line. We will make it also bold this a bit so it stands out. And then we want to talk a little bit about the different objections. So let's say the objection is compared to your competitors, your solution is quite expensive, right? How does your salesperson respond to this? So, you know, the response could be, you know, well, based on the features that you're looking for, based on the value that you're getting from our product, this is how we see ourselves. And in the long term, we see an ROI that's very different to what somebody else offers. So things like that. You can go on building all the objections and all the responses. And when, you know, the idea is that the system basically allows you to save all this information in bite-sized fashion. So let's actually just quickly step a little back and see what we've done. What we did was we actually created a new sales playbook from scratch and built out all these chapters in this webinar. And you can see how easily we were able to create and organize the sales collateral. Once you have created and organized all the sales collateral, it's also very important that we have some data. So in case of this, so let's just go to another instance where we can take a look at the data. So let's say that your content is live now. Again, I've gone to a test instance, which is an Acme. You've done all the hard work. You've gotten some content live. What does the data look like? Are people really using the content that you gave them? You can see there was a big spike. Maybe that's when you launched it, and afterwards the content consumption hasn't been really great. How many visitors? What did they see? What was the completion rate? And what content is really trending? You know, what sections? All this data and information. It's also very important for you to collect information around what's trending, what content is being consumed, what categories are trending, and things like that. What are people looking for on your platform and not finding it? All those details are also quite important for you to have. Now, one of the things that we talked about as a part of this repository or the site is the ability to actually export it to a PDF. So let's say we want to actually have this information as a PDF because we need to consume this on the go. So let me just see. Okay. Yeah. So you can see now I just downloaded the PDF and we have got all the sections of the playbook right here. So we have the overview section. The overview section has got the first statement, which is the Mark Benioff video that we had loaded. So obviously, when you click on that, it launches the video in a separate browser tab. So things like that. So like as you can see, it is online, but at the same time, if you really, really need it to be accessible offline, you can do that too. So that, folks, in a nutshell, is the Cosette platform. And this is the platform that we use to enable your content, create content very easily, measure it. And like I said, as a part of this demonstration, we didn't go into the details of securing this for access only by employees or partners, but that's something that you can easily do. If you do have questions about this specific of the product features or this specific webinar, please do feel free to reach out to me if you have comments on the structuring or even if you want to engage on any other type of conversation like what's a better playbook structure, you know, do you want to take a look at my playbook structure or whatever that is, feel free to reach out to us. My email address is Ravish, R-A-V-I-S-H, @cosette.io. Once again, thank you all for joining in on today's demonstration. Please do sign up for your free trial on Cosette and do let us know if you have any questions on the same. Thank you. Have a good day.